Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Snapshot video with me, Bsquared. We are going to actually be talking about 20w45a, which is the brand new snapshot that just came out today on the 1.17 Caves and Clip update. I am so excited to show you guys some of the cool stuff. If you guys might have seen earlier, I actually posted a video about like my thoughts on 1.17. You should definitely check that out. But I will say already some of my thoughts have changed by just playing around in this new snapshot. One of the first things I do want to show you guys, and I'm just going to have to change my game mode real quick to spectator, is the new geodes that are actually generating that I talked about, and that they have promised us. I believe I should have one pretty... Oh, there's one. I actually lit this one up so I would be able to find it with some candles actually in here. But yeah, so this is kind of what the geode looks like. So this one isn't connected to anything, so I guess you would just be mining and you would find this. So the cool thing is they actually added like 2 other blocks with this. Let me put myself back into creative, and those blocks are tough and calcite. So the tough seems to be the outer edge of these little nodes, kind of like things, and then the calcite is towards the inside of it. After that, we do have our block of amethyst, and if I find, yeah, so where these are growing off of, these are actually a different type of block, which is a budding amethyst. That's what allows these little crystals to start growing off of it. There's apparently 4 stages of the crystals, the amethyst crystals, or clusters, sorry, clusters. And it looks like they can grow off of like all the different sizes of this, sides of this. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, supposedly you can silk touch these too, and you'll get them at whatever stage they're grown, as well as if you actually break these when they're fully grown, you get 4 of the crystals. I believe that's the part I'm messing up. Amethyst shards. The amethyst shards. So you get 4 of these amethyst shards. You can use fortune on it, and you can actually get more amethyst shards with fortune. Another cool thing with the amethyst is walking around, if you can hear that little tinging. Yeah. So that also works when you're placing it too. And breaking it. There's like different sounds. And I did hear in there that they said that if you shoot it, it also makes a noise. So let's see what it sounds like when we shoot it. No, that is definitely a different sound. So these can be kind of like musical, which is kind of cool. But in general, I'm pretty satisfied with the way that these look. They look like pretty cool and pretty fun to find while you're mining through. Oh, look. So you can break them with a pick. I'm still pretty sure that if we take them out of here, yeah, we can't grow any. If they're not in this little node thing. But you can collect them, so you can use these in builds, which is kind of cool. And they do sound really cool when you're collecting it. Boom. While I'm down here, I figured I'll kind of show you guys some of the things with the candles. So I thought these were going to be kind of stupid. But they actually have many colors. If you just search candles, they actually can be in a variety of colors. So if you just take some candles and place them down, again, they're still like the sea pickles where you kind of put them all together, and you actually take a flint and steel to light them. So that's pretty simple. I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to do. Another cool part, I really like this. Probably more than I should, but if you have a cake, you can actually put, oops. This is something I really like. So if you actually put a cake down, you can actually put a candle on it and then light the candle. So you have a little birthday cake. I thought this was a really cute touch, and I appreciate this immensely. And you can still eat it, and once you do, the candle kind of pops off. So you can still keep your candle, which I think is kind of cool. And then you can reuse them, which is pretty realistic because you can still reuse candles when you break them normally. The candles can be waterlogged, so you can put them underwater. But unlike sea pickles, they do not produce light underwater. You can't light them underwater. So that's something you want to keep in mind. But I think they're actually pretty cool. And especially if you have a birthday on your server or something like that, you can actually show it off by adding little candles on a cake. So I'm going to go back to the surface and actually show you guys some of the copper that's been added in. So it seems like copper ore is kind of following the same generational pattern that you would find for iron and coal. They did say in the snapshot that it's not their final generation, so it might change, but yeah, this is the block. I think it actually kind of looks cool with little green bits around the orange. In your hand, you can't really see, like on the little bar, it just looks regularly like the orangey coppery color. But I actually am pretty happy with the way that the block looks itself. It looks like if you just use a regular pickaxe on it, it's gonna be, like when you break it, you just get the block. So it's not gonna be like redstone where it just pops out. It's more of like iron. You'll actually have to go and smelt it into blocks. So if you actually put down, it does work in a blast furnace. Doubling it just like you would for iron or any of the other ores that you can grab this way. So it does bring you copper ingots. They seem to be, again, following a lot of like the iron way of doing things. So you will get copper ingots, which you then can use to craft, as you can see in the top right corner. You can craft your copper blocks, which look just like this. So that'll be the 9 of them. Makes a copper block. Cool thing about the copper blocks is they do have the different weathering like they talked about. So they're just kind of do their own little entity IDs. So regular copper block, lightly weathered, semi-weathered, and fully weathered. And then you can also do cut copper stairs, cut copper slabs, which I'm pretty happy with that they have that pretty early on, because I know some people are going to want to do like copper roofs and do a bunch of cool little builds with that. So that'll look really cool. So one cool thing is if you actually add honeycomb to a copper block, it'll actually make it the waxed variant of it. So once it's waxed, it will not decay. So if you wanted to keep it always a shiny, cool copper, that's what you would do. It doesn't look like there's a way to reverse it yet, but at least we do have the waxed option, like they said. I do also like the sound that it makes. Same with when you walk on it. It has some pretty good sounds. So I'm pretty happy with that. It does look like they added a bunch of things that copper can be used to make. So if you have some copper and some amethyst shards, that's how you can make the spyglass. I thought it was called a telescope. It's a spyglass. So, since I actually don't have Optifine right now, since we are in the snapshot, you can actually kind of use this to zoom in. I do like the sound effects they add of the retracts and expanding. And it does look cool looking through it. I definitely think it's still not the most useful thing that you can make, but it's cool. Another thing that you can make is the lightning rod, which is 3 copper ingots. I was a little disappointed in the lightning rod, as when you stack them kind of up, they have that little like bulb in between. I wish it kind of like got rid of those in between, so if you stack them up, it'll look a little cooler coming off of a house. But for now, I feel like that little nub is the only thing you'll have. So I don't know, maybe some builders will find some cool uses for this. But strange thing too is that this does not oxidize. The lightning rod It does give a redstone signal when it's struck by lightning, which I guess if you had a trident and you use that to like send down like a lightning strike, you could actually like activate something that way, which I guess that could be kind of cool for like a redstone perspective and like either a trap or like a secret entrance or something like that. So the lightning rod does seem to have some use, especially since it does have that extra bit to it. Something that I was not preparing for them to make is actually tinted glass. So you take one piece of glass and you take 4 amethyst shards and it makes tinted glass. Apparently the thing with tinted glass is that, say if I went in here, it's all surrounded by tinted glass, and I close this off, my light level, it doesn't allow light in. So it's actually like completely dark in here. If you look at the server light 0, and as soon as I open one little bit, the server light is kind of back to where it normally would be. So a very, very interesting thing, because if you wanted to make a little dark area or have like tinted windows, you can still see through it normally. Like, I have no mods or anything on this, so this is the regular look of it. So kind of a little strange. Was not expecting that from Mojang, but still pretty cool. One of the updates that I thought was kind of interesting too is they're adding it so that minecarts and mine rails will work fine underwater. So no longer will you have them just kind of breaking, which is a nice touch. They do go way slower underwater though, as you can see as I'm pushing this along. But it does work. So, I mean, at least you'll have that aspect if you wanted to. I think this is a cool addition. Definitely something again, another thing I wasn't really expecting from this, but I'm pretty happy with the idea of. This is something I am so thankful that they've added into the game. If you actually just take your diamond shovel and right click on dirt, coarse dirt, mycelium, or podzol, it makes the path block. I am so happy with that because it used to annoy me so bad that when it was dirt that you couldn't make the path block. So now any of the dirtish blocks you can now make path blocks on top of, which will make, to me, I don't know if anyone else got bothered by that, but it'll just make my life that much more easier. I saved the biggest disappointment for last, the bundle. This is something I was so excited for, but it looks like if you right click on the bundle, you can add in some items, and let's say if I added in 30 shards and then try to add 32 oak saplings, see how it's full? It can only hold a total of 1 stack of items. Then if you right click again, it empties it out. So I mean, I guess it would help if you had like a couple things of a bunch of items that you can kind of stack into 1 stack. But I was really hoping for more room in it, I guess. It just isn't what I hoped it was gonna be. So also, like, if I put in some boots, and if you put in like leather boots of it, it'll instantly be full since that can't be stacked. So it's not gonna stack any unstackable items. It's just there. The other thing about the bundle is how to make it. You need 6 rabbit hide and 2 pieces of string. And in early game, I mean, string isn't the worst thing to come by, but it's definitely not the quickest thing to get, as well as rabbit hide. Really? I don't know, I feel like this is a complicated thing to make for what you get. So I'm very disappointed in the bundle, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed the first snapshot video of 1.17. I am excited to see what else they bring. Again, I like how they integrated some things. Well, let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about things. If you have a different opinion, or if there's anything that you guys had for cool ideas on what to try. But for now, I'll catch you guys in the next video.